We all know where the world of popular music was in the 60s and 70s.
From the legendary Bob Dylan to the Beatles' Invasion, the music world is being revolutionized by new sounds. Although now we're all familiar with Sgt. Pepper and Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone, at the time, this music was changing the world.
But what about classical music? What was going on there? Just so we can all chime in on Let It Be. Let it be! Everyone knows how Beethoven's Fifth Symphony goes.
But Beethoven wrote that piece in 1804. Fast forward to 1960, and where does that leave us?
In nightclubs. Yep, you heard me right. The classical music world was being taken by storm by the new jazz idiom that came into its own in the 1930s.
Contemporary classical composers such as George Gershwin and Maurice Ravel were integrating this new style into their pieces, and almost all forms of music showed the influence of this wild, rhythmic, and harmonically intricate style.
Can't believe that stuffy, academic classical composers were really writing jazz idioms? Take a look at these two pieces written for clarinet.
The first is French composer Pierre Gabai's Sonatine for clarinet and piano. Written in 3 movements, the first movement of the piece begins very fast and boisterous, with harmonies that land it firmly in the 20th century. The music alternates between quick, exuberant lines and slower, more lyrical melodies. The second movement begins with a piano introduction that sounds like it could have been played in a Parisian nightclub in the 50s. The clarinet line begins pensively and often repeats its ideas, as if the player were improvising the melody. A swirl of notes in the piano begins the third movement, while moments of intense chromaticism add harmonic complexity and drama to the music before it ends once again in a lighthearted mood that was a characteristic style of Gabai's music. The second piece was written by composer William O. Smith, known to fellow jazzers as Bill Smith, who successfully straddled both worlds of classical and jazz music. His piece, 5 Pieces for Clarinet Alone, is a great example of the effect that jazz music was having on the classical world, and of the direction that classical music was taking in the 60s and 70s. The first of the 5 pieces is titled Vigorous, and is riddled with accents that divide up the bar, often creating complex rhythmic patterns. The melodic lines of the second piece are contrived to be so connected that it seems to be made up of only 3 extremely long phrases. The third piece, Rhythmic, invokes the style of a scat singer with its quick alternation between heavily accented notes and almost non-existent pianos. The fourth piece, entitled Singing, has a much more thoughtful tone and mood, and feels improvisatory in its winding melodies. Spirited, the final piece, begins with high swirling notes interjected by lower ones that serve to springboard the music forward, creating an immense feeling of joy.
Want to hear this music I've been talking about? Are you wondering who I am and why I made this video? I'm Rachel Montgomery, a senior clarinet performance major at the University of North Texas, and I'm giving my senior recital on November 20th at 3:30 p.m. in the recital hall at the College of Music. If you want to hear me play this exciting program, I'll see you on Sunday.